Let's do a correction on the assignment. Let me access my this thing. So the question for the assignment now said create a variable name called float number. Now we all know how to create a variable. For those that were not around, variable variable name which is float number. Float number.
Let me copy the question.
Let me see assignment correction. Then that's variable. They now said assign it to a value of 70.96. 70.96. 70.96.
A float number. Okay, float number and a variable.
Create a variable name called float number. Assign it to a value of 70.96. We are now told to convert the float to an integer. So the question now goes to us, convert, if you see the value assigned to this variable name now, if you look at the screen now, the value assigned to it now is a floating point number, abi? So we're now told in the question that we should convert that floating point number to an integer with the method, with the str function we've always been doing. So you use the function now. So with the variable name that is assigned to that value, so what we needed to do now is to just do the normal. You can do print using the print function like this,
bracket,
then the str, abi, we wanted to make we wanted to convert it to a what? Integer, abi? Okay. Integer first, abi?
integer for that.
Abi?
No.
Integer first, abi?
Integer from float.
Okay, let's assume the question was to convert from float to integer, abi?
Float to integer.
So we needed to convert to integer first, abi?
First,
So let's do that first now. So using the float now, float number, which is the variable name now, abi? So if I run it now,
It will give us error.
it won't show an error. You see now, it prints out as an integer. Let's assume we wanted to concatenate. Let's now assume we wanted to print this thing, this conversion.
We copy it.
You know, it's printed normally like this, but we wanted to print it along with a message.
Sir, can you copy it and paste it? No, you are talking about another something, another thing,
Okay. So let's assume this is this now. Let's assume I wanted to print
a function with it.
not a function. Let's assume I wanted to do a message. I want to print a message. Let's just say the message I want it to print along with it is conversion of float
Value to string.
float to integer.
Yes.
Was that not what we wanted to do?
Float to integer.
I wanted it to.
Is it a comment or print?
It's a message, right?
That one was that gave us 70.
No, wait. Did you hope you understand to that point? The comment I actually added here now was to tell the whatever person that will be accessing this code to know that it's an assignment correction. A correction to the assignment I gave you.
That's
the function of the comment.
Yes.
Pattern won't it has anything to do with this. If you remove this hash now, Python will show up an error. Because Python will be, what's the meaning of this?
Syntax error.
Because I have nothing to do with this. So that's why it's a comment. You now ask which other thing? Comment and what? And message. Message is just about you printing information along with maybe using the print function now. Let me comment this. Look up now. I comment this float now. This floating point number. This message now initially using our print function. We all know that the print function prints out message now. So we wanted this print function to print hello
class.
word or anything or class.
It will come with that.
This is like a message.
Yes.
Can you just look up first?
I'm getting
This is like a message.
that hello class.
That's the difference between comments and message.
message.
Python reads this,
This.
but for message you always have to need you always need to attach this hash
Hash.
to it for Python to know that this is a comment.
This is a comment.
So Python will ignore it.
Ignore it without yes.
It will move to the next line. Whatever line of code you have, it will move to the next line. So the message I wanted to print now, because you see, wait.
Can you write
That it wasn't showing error, abi,
yes?
without converting to string.
Yes.
The reason was that we were not concatenating, we were not joining it with a string, with a message. I don't know if you get my point.
I'll get it now.
Let's assume I wanted to print maybe this hello class,
Hello class with it.
or maybe I wanted to say conversion of
hello class.
conversion of float
To sprint.
to string, which actually relates with what I'm doing, abi.
Yes.
Abi message. Was that not what I'm doing? I'm making a conversion here now. Can you all look up?
Conversion.
I'm making a conversion here. Can you all look up from here? I'm actually making a conversion. So I want the message, this message convert float to string to print along with my conversion. Which is this? So for us to run this now, we needed to concatenate. For us to run this, we needed to concatenate, and we already knew how to concatenate, right? So if I run this now, you see, it's showing me an error. Why? Okay. You see now, it's showing me an error. That means we needed to what? We needed to make a conversion, because we already added a string, a message to it. Wanted a message to print along with our results. And for Python to do that, this message is a string. This is another integer. They all needed to be in one data type before Python can print them along together. I don't know if you get that concept.
Yes.
They needed to be in one data type, which is string all through, before Python can print everything. It could print normally without this message, be it an integer or floating point number. It will run. Look at it now. It prints out the floating point number as an integer. But when we wanted to add the message to it, after we needed to concatenate now, we needed to concatenate. For Python to print out this now, we needed to make a conversion. Mr. Adegoke needed to look up. So here now, we needed to make this integer, the conversion of this integer, back to a string for Python to be able to print it along with this message. Initially, the message was a string, right? And this was an integer conversion we make. We actually did casting here. Casting is still the same thing as conversion. So those are programming terms. Casting is still the same thing as conversion. Using the int function, we converted this floating point number to integer. So if I run this now, you see it shows up an error. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. So Python, the print function, actually wants this to be in string too, for it to be able to print along with the message. Because this string here was a string data type, this message here was a string data type. This one too needed to be converted to a string before they can be printed together. So what we needed to do now is just add the str function, look up like this, and now bring everything here, the initial conversion inside the parentheses. like this. And if you run it now, everything prints along with the message. If you wanted to add a space in between, you can add this and then maybe a space like this. You see? Can you see how it prints out? Can you see the difference now?
That's too long.
So what it was saying is the conversion was actually like this. The variable name, which is this here, was initially a floating point number, and we made a conversion to an integer like this, then back to a string from a floating point number, which was this, to an integer which covers this. The integer conversion was like this, then back to a string like this. It goes from here to here, then back to string. That was why it was able to print it out. So don't get it twisted. Don't say from string to integer, but no, don't read programming like that. You don't read the code like that. The conversion was made from float to integer, then back to string. So let's move to the second question now. Second question was to create a welcome/resumption program for students. Tell them happy resumption. You are welcome back to school. So let's do that now. A welcome message. Let's look up first. The welcome message was just like using a print function. You should know that creating a message, printing out a message. Welcome back, or welcome or resumption.
Let's use happy resumption.
Okay, happy resumption. Okay. Happy resumption. Am I correct? Okay. So it was not like I should print along the message with like you are welcome back to school.
No, papi, something like that.
Input function.
Look at the question. We are following the question.
Okay.
He said, tell them happy resumption. Then you are welcome back to school.
Okay.
You are welcome back to school. You see, it now says, then, let's look at the question very. It said, then, ask the student's name, not to print the student name. Ask the student name. That's where the input function comes in. Ask the student name. So let's do that first now. Said ask the student name, matric number, phone number, department and level. Then print out. Let's do it one after. Let's ask the student name first now. Using the input function now. Input like this. Look up. Then he said ask the student name. I want it to be like a placeholder. Enter your name, like this. Then what again? Search surname abi, matric number. Okay, let's duplicate. Sorry. Let's duplicate this. He said matric number, then phone number, let's just do for these three, so you should be able to get it from there. Set phone number, right? Or let's just put department or anything. So from there now, it now says, if you look at the question, it now says print out the student details in the order name. Let's look up name, matric number, department and the likes. You know what we needed to do to print it out using the what? print function.
Why do you use capital for this?
For what?
For department.
Doesn't mean
It
like
doesn't mean
No.
it's a message.
Ẹ máa sọ pé owó àjẹlẹ̀.
So let's move on now. See, everything was printed out now. So let's move to the next assignment now.
ó yàtọ̀ sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ ní last week.
Níbo? Hope we all get it now.
Yes, àti ṣe name.
All you just need to do is just practice what I just did now. Since you understand the concept, just practice it, do it.
Print doesn't it?
It's still the same thing. So the third question, can we just do the last one? Can we just pause on what you are doing now? The third assignment is to use the length function to get the length, the name of this. I needed to write length, not name, sorry. The length. No, we did something here last week with the length function. What is spelling of length?
N-E.
Okay. G-C-H-I. Like this, Abby? Yes, I'm correct. Okay. So the third question now is for us to use this. Use the length function as I did here last week. For those that were around last week, the question is just to use this length, the length function. The length function is just like this, len, then with a parenthesis, to get the length. Just to iterate to get how many characters are there. So what we needed to do now is to, you can just put a length function, then a parenthesis. Can we all look up? The video will be sent, yeah. So then with exit. How is it?
Àti ṣe length.
Exit. So if I run this now, let me put a print function, right? Or should I assign a variable to it? Which one will you prefer? Or should I just print?
Print first.
I should print it like that.
Yes. I say less.
Do you prefer this way? Do you understand what I did here?
The length la fẹ́ print báyìí.
Did you understand what I did here?
Exit.
If I run this now, you see, this was 6. It's still the same thing as me saying maybe
Print.
using this.
Input. Using this.
See the same thing as me doing this, like assigning a variable name to this, maybe my length. My length like this. It's still the same thing. And then using the print function like this. And then copy the variable name assigned to it. Which method do you prefer? Is it this upper one or this other one?
That first one.
This first one. So I actually broke it down here. I assigned a variable to the length function. This was what we wanted to get the length, exit, which is a string. So I now use the print function to print it out. You see now, the first one print out 6, the second one print out what? 6. It's still the same what? The same thing.
But different formula.
It's not the same formula.
Or different method.
Same concept. I just actually broke it down. Just broke it down.
Print my length.
So let's move on to, you should be able to do the fourth one like that. The fourth question, which is you are told to use the length function to get the length of Ayodele or maybe your name or anything, which is a string. So let's move to question 5. Question 5 says use the input function as we've done in class. Use the input function as we've done in class to make the area of a triangle calculator. Can we all look up now? question to question, let me just say
Print.
question 3, or was it question 5 now for the assignment. The question was to do this now. The question was to, can we all look up to the screen? The question was to use the input function as we've done in class, that was last week, to make the area of a triangle calculator. For those that were in class last week that came early, I think I did something like that. I think I did for triangle, or I think half base times height. I think this was for rectangle, I guess. Okay, this was triangle. I think the one I did was for maybe rectangle, so length times breadth. It's still same concept. All we needed to do from the formula we've been given now, formula is base, formula of area of a triangle is base times height, abi? We all know that. Half base times height, that is the formula. And this is the same thing, abi? Mathematically, this is the same thing as half base times height. It's the same thing. Half base times height.
Multiplication.
Yeah, with this. Like this. So from there now, what we needed to do, we needed to get feedback. The user to input the breadth and the height. Then the calculation will be done. So the first thing to do now is
that Q, T, and S?
Question 5.
Okay.
You can name it anything. So you can just name it maybe area of a triangle, or maybe let's name this concept. So let's say breadth, using that same input function. Input function wanted it to print, maybe enter a number, maybe it could be breadth, enter an integer, then for the second one too, I said what, enter an integer too. What I needed to do now is I wanted the user to input for breadth and for length. So let me assign a variable name called breadth to this input function now. Let me call it breadth, like this. Are we following? Then height, abi? Then height, like this. Height like this. Am I correct with spelling of height? Okay. So the formula goes thus. The formula is half base, abi, which is base. No long. Base times height, abi. Let me just write base. Sorry, base, like this. So formula is base, half base times height. So base times our height, parenthesis. Can we all look up? Parenthesis like this. Then with 2 like this. Can we see this now? So from there now, I wanted to assign, let's call it maybe area of a triangle formula, any variable name, or area of a triangle. Sorry, the name convention I needed to use is common case. Area of a triangle which is the variable name. Are we following? Are we following? Are we following? We needed to concatenate after adding the message.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Adeleke Adegoke. So we needed to concatenate. So just add this plus now to concatenate. If I run it now, you see, let me maximize my screen. You see, it tells me enter an integer, or let me say enter a value for b, for base. Enter base number. Integer or number.
Sorry. What of if we say base is equal
to what?
That value?
Which value? So let me run it again because I made a bit changes. Enter ith number.
Enter base number first. Ith number first.
Instead of integer.
Enter base
integer, ith number. Anyone you prefer.
Integer.
Anyone you prefer. Number. Just understand it. Number is still the same thing as integer, but it could be float or normal integer. So if I run this now,
float slash integer, float slash
to this point here, where I added the message to it here, the result message, and then we concatenated it.
Print the
so
result.
if I run it now, I think I needed to run my. So let's move on now. So all we need to do is just run this. And I run it. If you see, the first message was to enter your name. That was the message. It prints along with the input box using the input function.
But there's one thing though. Each time I run, it brings a new child. That base number. And that is what?
So for my height, I wrote 4. So the error it was showing me now is showing error. Showing
name
strange. So it needed to name height. And maybe that's for you. Check your. See, all we needed to do now is to made a conversion from here, which is str.
Àfi síwájú àwọn bracket bẹ́ẹ̀ náà mo ṣe ṣe àfi int sí.
Like this.
Our bracket here.
So if I run it now,
NIT.
If I put 2,
then to padà run nìyẹn.
You see?
2.
If I put 4, it still brings it out. Then let's go to count multiply sequence of non-integer which are strings. So what we needed to do now is to make our conversion from up here like this, and the close bracket like this. Same thing for this, the second one. Int closing. Same thing. The overall now, which you print, needed to be converted to a string. Everything now, you all know that the base will be integer, height will be integer. So needed to make a conversion to integer.
Strange.
So 2, then 4. You get the concept now. What's 2 times 3? What's 2 times 3?
6.
Divided by 2. That's the formula. Base times height. It will work with parentheses. I calculate no bracket here. To buy calculator, I ṣe wá gé. No board mathematics now.
Look at this.
Use board. You did this thing last week. Do you get the logic now? So we can. The classwork now that we will do now will be for. I just want us to do the 6th assignment. let's move to it now. This assignment states, I didn't say we should do it now, Mr. Adegoke. The the sixth assignment now is use the input function as we've done in class. Calculate the roots of a number calculator getting inputs from user. What does root mean? Square root. Root is different from square root now. We all know that. Like doubling a number, that's the root. Square root is like finding the square. But what we are saying now is this. Hope you all get the concept, the hint I just gave here now. So it's for us to do this. It's just one line code. Just find the word. What was the question again? The square root. So you should tell the user to input the number. So use the input function first. For you seeing that they want the user to input a number. So from there you can add a variable name, maybe root, or maybe root or number to calculate anything. Calc number. From there now you can print it out. Print. Before then you can do this now. Before then we want to get the value. We want the value. I don't know if you get my point. Sorry. The value that will be put here, that will be input here inside this input function, we want to find the root. So mathematically now, that will be this, the variable name here. I don't know if you get my point. In Python, let me comment this. In Python, to find the root of a number, the only thing you have to do is to use this operator times. So this will find the root for you. Let's print this little function out now. If I print this out, see, it tells me this is 16. So in Python, that's how to find root. Multiplication 2 times, like times. That's steric. You write it 2 times for you to find the root in Python. So you apply the same thing here now. Same thing is applicable here.
Times any number.
Look up and listen to what we are saying, Mr. Adegu. So we needed the value that will be put here, which we already assigned the value to. And we all look up. We want to find the root now. So using this times 2. So if you now print this like this, using the print function like this, do you understand this? Do we understand this? Don't write, type it on your laptop. That's where you know maybe there is an error in the code you wrote.
I want to follow your business to go with you.
The way you are writing as fast as it is with you writing, to be able to type it, it's still the same thing. You just have to be fast while typing too. So if I run this now, see, it tells me to input a number that will find the root. Let's assume I input 2. So it tells me what? Let me see the error. It said unsupported operand, which is x, and then it said for this, which is power, it must be in a string.
Undefined.
Let's make a conversion here.
It is your comment here now.
comment will not yọ dànù. Ẹ put it kan bá yọ dànù. Put the comment now. If they remove it, sorry. So these two needed to make conversion to in string 2. Do we get this? So let me just give us an hint now. So I needed you to do this question. Let's just start with question 4. Mr. Luke, I need you to do question 3. Yeah, everybody to do question 3 and question 4 now. And question 4 now.
I've done that question 3.
How did you do it?
I've done it yesterday.
Let me see.
Question 3 ni mo ti ṣe as assignment. Question 3 ni ẹ̀dẹ̀ kọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ àgùntàn ló kàn wà kan. Brent kan máa ń
kọ́ kan kọ́
ṣé ó ti ṣe?
Àwọn àṣẹ kan máa concatenate
plus minus
ẹni ṣe àyè.
Ní string ṣèbí kò sọ̀rọ̀ ń bẹ̀. Ìwé kò ti ṣe rí. Ṣe láì ká máa lo kọ́ máa yẹn. Ó máa yẹ kí èèyàn gbẹ̀lẹ́ àrí. Kọ́ wá.
Okay, let me do it.
That's implicit conversion.
Let me do it. Number 3, Abi. I can't access it. Let me just quickly do it.
Don't use comma, use plus to concatenate.
Comma
Are people give you? I only gave you an hint on it here.
You watch the last one.
Read the question for that last question 4.
This code display. Yes. Comment 2 plus 4 is equal to 4 on the screen.
Because we've actually worked on this question is on expression and variable.
Nǹkan tó ń sọ answer tá a fẹ́ kó fún wa kò ju 2 plus 4 is equal to 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 la fẹ́ kánsá according to answer gan kó táìpù sísàlẹ̀ jẹ́ báyìí ní result wọn lá wá print jáde.
Read the question very well. Read it very well. So it's something that can break the glass. Like inside that bag. So read the question very well. Read it very well.
2 plus 2 is equal to 4 on the screen.
It must display this as your output. This code is supposed to display 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 on the screen. But there is an error. Find the error in the code and fix it. This is the code now. This is the code now. This is the code.
Expression.
So try it out and fix it.
Question